Okay guys, so now we're going to learn about the super keyword in Java 21. This is just going to be a short tutorial. However, this one directly carries on from the previous tutorial in this series, which is inheritance. If you haven't watched that video yet, please go back to that and watch this because all of the code is just the same to demo this one, so there won't be any point in rewriting it. Again, like I say, if this code isn't on your screen, you don't have all of these classes here, or if all of this is completely new to you and you haven't watched this playlist, please go back to the start. If you have, go back to the previous tutorial where we discuss inheritance. But now we're just going to discuss the super keyword. So yeah, let's get into it. So super, what is that? Well, let's go to vehicle and let's demonstrate this. So it's very simple. We have this, right? This keyword. We have this dot brand, this dot model, this dot mileage, this dot insured, this dot, etc., etc., etc. That refers to the instance of this object. Now, super is very, very similar to this, and we'll mostly see it in a constructor. So super is similar to this, but it represents the super class's instance rather than this class's instance. So for example, this doesn't really have a super class. So the super kind of points to nothing here. Well, technically it does point to something, but that's some more advanced JVM stuff that we don't need to go into. Whereas if we go into car or into lorry, then super would represent the vehicle instance of this object. And it's a reference variable used to refer to the immediate parent class of an object. And the keyword here is immediate. We can only refer to its immediate parent. So that's one up in the hierarchy. So let's say there were 3 layers. Let's say we had at the very, very top, we had thing, right? And that branches out to everything. And then below that, we have a vehicle. And then below that, we have a lorry or a car, right? So let's just say car. If we call super on car, that will refer to the vehicle instance of car. So the vehicle that this car extends upon. So the values that we would have filled in here for the car that are on the vehicle is what you would get when you call super. This also does apply for methods as well, and we'll show you that right now. So let's go back into vehicle and let's create a new method. So let's just make some space between line 8 and line 10 a little bit here, and we're going to create some behaviors for a vehicle. Now we know that all vehicles, right, have a horn. They can honk, right? So let's go public void honk, and then this will take in no parameters, and all it's going to do is just output beep. Maybe put a couple more B's in there as well. Beep. I honked. Sounds a bit weird, but we'll go with it. Obviously, this will need public access so that we can call it from outside. Let's say we wanted to call honk on the main, we could do that. Now this is on the vehicle, which is the super class. But now let's go into car. And let's just hypothetically say that when we initialize a car, it just honks, right? So let's do this. So for example, when this empty constructor is called, the car just beeps, just does, right? So how do we do this? We go super dot, and you see we can access all of the methods that were on vehicle, including this honk function here. So we'll go super dot honk. and then semicolon on the end. So now we've done that, we're able to refer to this function in the parent instance of the vehicle. Now, obviously, no matter what instance of car we have here, we're always going to honk when we initialize it, right? So you can say beep, I honked, and the reason why that's happened is because that has been run here when we construct it. And then our constructor, which runs when we construct it, which is called there, runs super.honk. Now, let's add some variation into this. And let's say in vehicle, we also want to print out the, I don't know, the owner of this. What do you think is going to happen? Let's see. As you can see, we actually get null. And the reason for this is because super.honk runs on the empty constructor. Now this means we've just created an empty car and we haven't put in an owner yet, because we put in an owner down here and it gets run up here. So that is the only thing that you need to consider when you're using honk, is that you shouldn't use it within this empty constructor in this instance, because the honk function inside vehicle gets the owner, which doesn't quite exist yet. It exists, but it's not filled up. So yeah, hopefully that explains the super keyword. If we want to reference the whole of the super object, we can, like that. And if we want to reference a certain getter, we can do that. And we just prefix it using super instead of this. That's all there is to it. Right, see you in the next one, guys.